Wolfgang.
AKA Thrusty Robinson.
And this is my pet. And we're just a weird-ass couple trying to figure out how to fucking live and function in a judgmental, prudish America.
We aren't experts on the things we're going to be talking about, and we don't have answers, but that's basically the reason that we want to talk about it in the first place.
Bangers.
Bangers.
It's good.
So anyway, we are going to be coming up with topics every single week to talk about so we can keep ourselves on track. Also, we have these on deck for later. Some very cheap and horrible booze concoction that we'll be giving ourselves a shot break with whenever we need it for whatever reason.
Yes, mostly when we get heated and need to cool off.
Which is...
all the time.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
So what's the topic for this week, my love?
Well, this week we're going to talk about how living in quarantine for almost a year is really fucked us over.
Almost a fucking year.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
It's
year!
insane.
A year in quarantine.
Fucking year.
How long did they say this was going to be when it started?
Oh, like a few weeks.
A few weeks.
And that seemed like too much at the time.
I was freaking out about being in quarantine for like, if it was going to be a month or whatever. I was freaking out about that. I can't imagine what I would have thought back then if I would have seen what was happening right now. Like, because what a year into it, and we're probably another year away from being through it.
Oh, I would say at least.
I hate when you say that.
It's the truth. Anyone who tells you it's going to be less than that or less than 2 years, to be honest, is fucking optimist person who's just fucking you over.
You are always right when you say that shit, and I hate it.
Yeah. It's going to be a while.
I know. So we're going to talk about how this has all fucked us over.
Yeah, so talk about what you were doing before I moved here.
Yeah, so, I mean, the short story is, a year ago when this quarantine started, I was here completely by myself, and we were doing this long-distance thing.
Yeah.
And we'd been long-distance for a couple years. And we were living 8 hours apart, but, like, if I was going to take a train, it was more like a 12-hour journey.
It's definitely 12 hours. I've done it. It sucks.
Yeah. So I was kind of stuck all by myself, and so we're living in the Pacific Northwest right now. We're both transplants here, and I've been here for almost 5 years working on a PhD program, and I just need to finish my dissertation, but I keep not finishing it.
Yeah, I was smart. I got out after my master's because fuck that shit.
Yeah, but you were so far away, and getting out after her master's is what caused her to be able to come move by me.
Otherwise, I would have been stuck in a different Pacific Northwest place for a long time.
Yeah. Different Cascadia place. We both
Yes.
live in Cascadia. So when the quarantine first hit, I was going out of my mind. I was so worried. I'm thousands of miles away from family. I was completely on my own here. I don't have good friends here because I'm not the kind of person who really fits into a PhD program.
Yeah,
So
trouble making connections.
Yeah. So I was really in a bad spot, and quarantine hit, and everybody who's listening knows this. We were all freaking out. I was freaking out too. And basically what happened was my routine became, I get up in the late morning. I try to get a little bit of work on my dissertation done and fail. Get none work done on my dissertation whatsoever. Then I have to teach a class. In order to earn my keep here and keep my fellowship, I have to teach first
That was your only
composition.
connection to the world, right? Is like you were teaching a class, and that was the only time you ever interacted with other human beings, for the most part, other than me and like occasionally messaging family.
Yeah, I mean, at least in real time. That was the only time I connected with human beings in real time, is when I was teaching these 18-year-old
A bunch of
first-year
18-year-olds.
writers. Yeah, I mean, I would get messages from people sometimes, but my face-to-face interactions were just teaching these 18-year-old first-year writers. And I'm teaching at an R1 institution, so like all the first-year students are 18 years old.
A bunch of traditional 18-year-old college students, or university students, as they say in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Or is that just where I was in?
It depends on how snobby you are. We're at an institution. But, so, that was my routine. I get up late in the morning, try to work on my dissertation through the afternoon. I can't. And I was teaching a late afternoon class, I still did a pretty good job teaching my class because I care about those little fuckers. But then after that, I would try to work on my dissertation a little bit more and probably fail. I might go for a walk. I did succeed in going for a walk just about every day. And then I would basically start spinning some records, start drinking a couple beers, then move on to just like listening to music on my headphones and cracking into some harder alcohol. And before I knew it, I'm,
Blackout drunk.
Yeah, blackout drunk, 2 a.m, quarantine, several weeks into quarantine, listening to tons of music, and then going and like posting like little rants and stuff and having people on social media tell me that they're concerned about me. I was in a bad fucking place. But I kind of got saved because then my love actually came down
I moved here and joined him in the alcoholism, which we all know is better than being an alcoholic on your own.
Yeah.
You become more of an alcoholic, but you feel better about it, and that's what I did for him. So
You've done
it was not that bad.
Multiple things for me. That was one of them.
That's what he said. But yeah, I moved here, and I was fairly recently, out of my master's degree, unemployed, and remained unemployed for about a year. And, we had a rough start. It was our first time being in a relationship, not long distance, and suddenly we were not only living together, but we were quarantined together.
And I had been living by myself for I want to say 7 years or something. I'd been living by myself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I had a place to myself, not just here, but even before I came here. I've been like in multiple states living by myself all the time. And all of a sudden, I'm living in a 1-bedroom apartment in quarantine with someone I love the fuck out of, but someone who's like we're always near each other 24 hours a day.
Yes.
24 hours a day.
I mean, it's all constant.
Yeah.
We walk together, we eat together, we sleep together, but fucking constant.
Yeah. So that's a positive, I guess.
It's a positive.
But I know everybody out there has like stories about how hard that first month or that first like 2 months of quarantine were. There was so much anxiety, and we were experiencing anxiety.
And just figuring out what the fuck you're gonna do to cope.
Yeah.
Still figuring it out.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons we're doing this podcast right now. We're trying to cope with. Okay, it's been a goddamn year.
Yes, absolutely.
We're looking at another year.
At least.
What are we gonna do to get through it?
Yeah. Oh, and like we also had living in the Pacific Northwest. Let's talk about what happened to us in September and October. Fires, wildfires, fucking choking smoke. And living through quarantine, and that at the same time.
When you compound extended quarantine, because we've been in quarantine for half a year at that point.
Yep.
When you compound that extended quarantine with the kind of smoke that we were dealing with here from the wildfires, anyone who lives in the Northwest probably understands what this past summer was like with the wildfires. And I've been living here for a while, so I've gone through this multiple times, a couple times now. But this was the worst that I've been through so far. I think this might have been the worst that's ever happened. I mean, the air quality index, I think the numbers on the air quality index go from like 0 to 300. What were we at, like 900 or something?
Something insane. Mostly 700s, and it was like 900 or something at some point. Oh my God. Like fucking insane.
Health experts were saying they didn't even know what the long-term effects are going to be for people who live through that. And
no data on that. Yeah. We're like the first people to be that data.
I know. And like, I literally felt like I was going to go to bed at night and wake up dead. Like, I was afraid I was going to die in my sleep. That's how bad it was.
I definitely had those feelings. Like, okay, like, maybe I'll die in 5 years because breathing this in.
Oh God, yeah, I feel like that now. Yeah, or maybe we'll have 10 years taken off our life or something. Yeah,
we might, fuck it, but
yeah. So like living through that very dark time, where we're not only in quarantine but also in this smoke, where we close our doors, close our windows, stuff towels under the doors, put tape up and plastic and whatever we can find over the windows, and just try to sit in here and survive. And felt like, because this happened for weeks on end, we felt like we were slowly dying, and we were slowly dying here.
Yeah. And there's nothing you can do. There's still insane amounts of smoke in the place. No matter how much you tape off.
Well, I had an N95 respirator that we took turns wearing inside.
And it was the only time you could get a breath of fresh air, and it was almost worse to wear this, like, huge respirator because you would wear it for, like, 10, 15, 30 minutes, and then you take it off and you'd be like, then you could suddenly smell the smoke that you had previously habituated to, and you were like, this is what I've been breathing in for 2 weeks? Inside my house without stepping outside?
Yeah.
It was almost better to not wear it, because then you wouldn't panic. You would just get used to the smoke smell, and you wouldn't panic as much about breathing it in.
And that's exactly, panic. Like,
panic.
To feel like you're on the edge of panic all the time because you're worried about dying almost. Well, not almost, like, literally worried about dying. But we coped. Thank God. Like, if I had been going through this by myself in the same way with the smoke,
you would have died.
I would have probably just drank myself to death. That's probably all I would have done.
Certainly.
What else is there to do?
Nothing.
Yeah. But luckily you were here. We found some fun things to do.
We did. We had snail toss.
Snail toss. Yeah.
Your fave.
Yeah, so we couldn't go outside. Yeah. Should I go?
No,
I'll
yeah,
grab
go
those
on.
snails, I'll show 'em.
Yeah, show the snails. Basically, it's not my invention. I took some of the basic rules of beer pong, not all of them, because he wouldn't get it. And did nothing. And instead of throwing ping pong balls, we just tossed these rubber snails that my sister gave me a while ago.
This is my favorite one.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
He's the little red guy.
You like the little red one?
I always threw the red guy. It is a guy, it's not a girl.
No, I thought you throw those ones.
This one's a gal.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This is a snail gal.
Yeah, he's got the snails all gendered, apparently.
No, this is our gender neutral.
Yeah, that one is definitely gender neutral.
It's very queer.
In fact, its name is Nudie. He's actually really afraid of snails.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Why?
It's not a quarantine thing. It's just a completely disconnected,
Well, okay, fine, but first let's talk about what I'm not afraid of, because.
Yeah, no.
Well, first of all, this house has a ton of spiders in it.
Yeah, we didn't talk about our house.
Yeah,
our apartment.
Yeah, our apartment is like, we're upstairs, right? And this is like, so we're in an alley. I don't know if you can see all the lights outside. You can kind of like.
You can kind of.
Wait, this square here. That's a window light across the alley. So we're in an alley in the city, and it's really dirty back here, and this apartment is upstairs. The apartment's falling apart, but it's a really nice size for us. And we like it though. We like
nice big kitchen, lots of natural light.
Yeah, a big kitchen that's falling apart, but it's cool. Outside we have what we call the veranda. It's basically a landing at the top of the stairs, but like it overlooks some dumpsters and it overlooks a bunch of cars in the alleyway. But we fucking love it.
It's great.
So anyway, there's so many spiders in this place.
So many spiders.
And we both love spiders.
Both love spiders.
So we call our house Spider Paradise.
And we really came to appreciate Spider Paradise together.
Yeah. Came to name it together.
I mean, it was definitely my coining the term itself, but it came out of both
It's because
us.
you were drinking one night and you were like, oh, this house is a spider paradise inside and out.
Well, that's the truth is there are spiders fucking everywhere.
She had a moment of ecstasy about the spiders.
It was ecstasy. It was a very emotional moment for me when I realized how many spiders I have access to viewing, which is very important to me. I need to be able to see spiders.
Yeah. So,
speaking of, just this morning, I woke up to yet another spider crawling over me, and then it was crawling over you later this afternoon. And this is a spider we've actually had crawling over us for a while. It's actually one of our regular spider friends.
Is it a cobweb weaver or
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
I'm not. It's like more of a generic house spider, but I'm not actually sure what the species is. I have yet to figure that out because I'm I'm guessing it's a female. I'm not sure because I don't know the species, but it's probably a female based on general body type.
Because it's globular, right?
It is a little globular, and those are usually females, but it really does depend on the spider, so we don't know yet. It could be a dude. It's probably a she, though. But
those fat-ass globular spiders, usually a she.
Yeah, depends, though. It depends. But yeah,
I learned that from her, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, think Black Widows, right? Think, like the general, like males are, no one notices dudes unless they're birds. Okay, no, a lot of people, dudes are generally flashier. This is actually a really interesting topic.
I'm flashy.
To go, are you flashy?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were talking about my fear of snails, and I just wanted to talk about.
Completely.
So obviously, I'm not afraid of spiders at all. I love them. Not afraid of snakes. I fucking love snakes. I love snakes. I love snakes, lizards, and stuff. But snakes especially, I'd walk around with a snake around my neck all day and just be happy.
Yes.
So it's not like I'm some kind of city boy that's just like squeamish about stuff. But snails, for some reason. Yeah, so she makes fun of me for this, but I don't know. Well, how is it that anybody could not be wigged out by a snail?
They're not weird.
They've got these slimy suction cup bodies that just cling to you, suction-y, over your skin. I just don't.
Slimy, slowy, suction cuppy. That's how you described it.
Slimy, slowy, whatever. But and they hold, and you could turn yourself upside down, and they're gonna be slimy suctioned on you. And
it's not creepy. That's same thing as getting a blizzard.
But I'm never eating a blizzard again.
Look, you can hold it upside down and it doesn't tip out. It's a snail. Oh, run away.
Snail. But Jesus, I mean, and also they've got eye stalks. Their eyes are on top of stalks, and they even are called eyes. No, I don't want to touch those because two things. I actually legitimately don't want to hurt the snail because as much as they freak me out, I still don't want to hurt them.
Yeah, you love all creatures.
I
you
love
won't
all
even
creatures.
kill a fucking gnat.
Well, I'm getting a little better about that.
Because you have to, only to protect the plants, which we love more than we love gnats.
Yeah, but I don't ever want to knock a snail's eye off of its stalk. I don't want to. But also, and this is maybe more important, I don't want that eye stalk touching me because it freaks me out. I don't want that eye stalk touching me.
I've told you about how my sisters and I, of course, snails were just a part of our normal lives. You see snails and slugs when you're lifting up boards to find worms to feed to your snakes and toads because that's the pets you're keeping because whatever, you're a country kid. But anyway,
you're more of a country kid than me, way more.
Yes. Don't put me out there. No one could tell until now. But my sister Cara once kept a snail as a pet because she found an albino snail.
What?
An albino snail? Haven't I told you this?
No,
I definitely told you about this. She found, it was everything was white. The shell was white, the snail itself was white, and the little eyes, if you looked in close, on the top of the eye stalks where you can see their eyeballs, they were fucking red fucking eyes. Wow. And the snail actually laid eggs. Or whatever it did. I'm pretty sure they lay eggs.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. It laid eggs, yeah. And the eggs are white.
They are white.
Even for regular snails.
Yeah. No, it did. And we were so excited. We were like, oh, this albino snail laid... But then something happened. I think one of our cats maybe smashed it.
Oh, no.
It was probably AJ and his fat ass. He might not have been there then. That might have been before he was alive.
Practically an apex predator.
Might have been Lily. You didn't know her. She died in 2009. But...
before we met.
Yes. Actually, that was before we met.
Probably 2 years?
4 years. We met in 2014. We met in 2014.
Jesus.
We met in
Right. That was recently?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We've only known each other for 7 years. Yeah.
So,
seems like longer.
Anyway, I think we didn't even talk about the game Snail Toss. I just didn't want to talk about the game Snail Toss until I've made it clear that I'm not some, total scaredy that's scared of everything.
Well, you're scared of snails.
Yes.
So.
But nothing else, really. Maybe octopuses a little bit. But,
is that mollusky to you?
Yeah, it is a mollusk, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not sure. It might not be.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, an octopus is mollusk.
Cool,
and they have suction cups. They have tendrils that have. They don't have just suction cup hands. They have suction cup arms. All of them. You just give you a hug with suction cups. I don't like that.
That shit is kind of creepy if you think about it.
I think that octopuses, and I know octopus is the preferred term now, not octopi
I know,
and not octopon. But
I knew this, and
I think they're super cool. That's all I'm saying. But I'm just scared of them.
But that's partly what's so cool about them is they're partly scary. But anyway, moving on, snail toss.
Yeah, you created this game for us so that we could survive in the smoke. We're back to the smoke. Imagine the apocalypse. We're gonna die. Oh my
god, raining ash.
It was raining oh my god, yeah.
Raining ash. Choke if you go outside.
At one point, I had to go to the grocery store, so we took all the towels away, opened up the door, had my fucking N95 respirator on, and went out to the car to go to the grocery store.
Luckily, we had.
And there was like layers of ash on my car.
Layers.
I have pictures of it.
It was like snow.
Oh, yeah, it was like snow, but oh my god,
but ash.
It was so scary, and it was like walking out into like the end of the world. It was like, oh, the world ended 18 days ago.
You couldn't see very far in front of you. Everything was covered in ash. No one was out and about.
The sun never came up.
The sun never came up.
But it was like there was nothing but like a vague orange light outside.
The same orange light all day long, every day.
Yeah.
And it was
like dusk all day long.
So
in the middle of summer. Well, the end of summer.
Yeah, the end of summer. So creepy.
Yeah. So anyway, to get us through this double apocalypse, because we're in quarantine and also in this smoke, she came up with this game, Snail Toss.
Which is just beer pong, but you throw snails, and also fewer rules because he's never going to remember all of the rules, and I honestly don't remember them either, so I don't care. But you weren't open to some of them, so we kept it simple.
I wasn't
Simps,
open.
bro. We kept it very simple. Basically, no rules except get the cups out first. But
I'm not that stupid.
No, you're not, honey. You're not simple or anything. You're just a pet, small animal. Slow down, slut. But, yeah.
So we had fun playing that.
It was pretty fun.
That was before we even had. Eventually, we actually went and got some ping pong balls, and now we play more like something that's almost like beer pong.
Almost.
But we still call it snail toss.
Yes.
But so yeah, we continued playing this game even after the crisis.
It saved us.
Holy shit! It saved us. We had so much fun. Because we like when it's that smoky, you don't even want to move. You start coughing as soon as you move. You literally feel like you're gonna die in your sleep.
You really do.
And even inside, it was so like we actually were slowly dying.
We were.
But we would,
asphyxiating. That's the word
we
I'm looking for.
Slowly asphyxiating, yeah. But when we set up the kitchen table and like put the cups on it and played our snail toss,
we felt like we could be. It was a distraction.
Yeah. It was,
and we could actually move around. And then take turns, like, gasping for air on the respirator because we had exercised too much in the smokiness of our own house.
Especially you, because, like, she likes to dance around. Because what we do is, like, we drink a bunch, we have the thing set up, and we blast, a lot of tunes. And that's another thing that brought us together. We started, like, learning, like, what kind of music we like to listen to together.
Yeah.
But she would always be dancing, and she needed some respiration, so she'd wear the N95, and then I'd wear it sometimes. And I moved around a lot too, but my dancing isn't like dancing so much. Like she actually like does a John Travolta, like, really awkward John Travolta thing.
Awkward. It's hot. Probably if I was a dude.
Hot. Awkward's hot to me. You know that.
Yeah, that's why you love me.
Yeah. That got us through.
I was hot. Yeah. In a man way.
Of course.
In an awkward man way.
Your identity is really tangled with all those things, and it's hot.
My identity's tangled with being an awkward man. I agree, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
If I was an awkward man, I would be so much less awkward.
Yeah. Do you think that's a good cue for us to do our shot?
Oh, yeah, for sure, Z's. Spite a try.
Spite a try beside?
Spite a try, bangers beside.
Bangers.
Oh. Sick.
That was a sick shot. That was some very cheap shit that we just drank.
That was, fuck. Wow. A shot actually hasn't gotten me in that way in a long time.
Yeah. I usually don't make a face after a shot no matter what it is.
No.
That was very cheap.
Actually, no, that's not true. I usually don't. You do.
I beg to differ.
I beg to differ. Your difference.
Mm-mm. Well, that's...
I'll never beg your deference, though. I'll never beg your not deference. I'll never beg your whatever.
In other words, she's always in charge. You totally threw me off from what I was going to say.
What was it?
I don't know. You threw me off with all your, like, dominating stuff.
You're the one who wanted to take a shot.
Anyway, we're talking about getting through the fucking apocalypse. Oh, exercise. That's another thing that, like, being in a quarantine really affects exercise.
It does.
And I think both of us kind of, like, don't do very well when we don't get exercise.
Correct.
But yeah, we kind of tend to not get a lot of exercise
Correct.
during certain times. Yeah.
Yeah, and this summer we actually started, before the apocalypse of wildfire, but after a few months of quarantine, we started doing a really good job of running on the track that's not too far away from us. And we got into pretty good shape. I got into the best shape I've been in since high school. Like,
you got in great
by
shape.
far, I was getting in insanely good shape. I could easily run miles. Just fucking, it was normal to run almost every day.
She runs the fuck out of me.
I do.
Kicks my ass with running.
I really do.
Kicks my ass with running.
Yeah. I was fucking doing well. But then the fucking
smoke.
the smoke happened and we couldn't go outside and exercise and it threw us off. And then even after the smoke was cleared up, we didn't run for months after that. It was just like out of the routine, whatever. We had to get back into it. We did finally get back into it in January.
Yeah.
And we were doing pretty well in the month of January, and then February happened, and we haven't done shit since.
Well,
The rain. We live in the Pacific Northwest, and it just started raining one day, as it does in the winter here.
I mean, we're both from very, very cold climates. We're both from climates where we get feet and feet and feet of snow, and we have
for 6 months?
minus 45 degrees temperatures a
Honestly,
lot.
though, it's been so long now, so you don't even remember how that goes.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but like we both grew up that way, even though we've moved around. We both moved around a lot and lived in different places, but I mean, I think I probably speak for both of us when I say we really feel kind of bad about complaining about weather here at all.
It's so, there's nothing to complain about.
But when it's like 45 and rainy, you just don't feel like running.
You just don't feel like running.
That's just,
it's like, and even if it's not, like, it doesn't even rain that, people here don't even know what rain is, to be honest. They know what it's constantly like to be overcast and cloudy. They don't even know what hard rain is. I've sent videos to people who live in this part of the world from back home when it's like raining and storming, and they're like, oh, I see what you mean by rain. Whoa, that is a lot of rain. And I'm like, yeah, but it happens only once in a while.
Yeah, back home we get tornadoes and huge thunderstorms constantly. Here, like, not a single thunderstorm
Nothing is extreme. No, I miss thunderstorms. I will literally deal with 6 months of winter just to go back home. Not even, like, family stuff. Just to be in a place where I can hear a thunderstorm. If I hear one thunderstorm a year, I can deal with 6 months of fucking snow and stress.
Yeah.
It's to that point. I miss tough. Thunderstorms so hard.
Yeah.
I will deal with everything just to get one.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
No,
I need
totally
it.
agree.
I'm so in need of a thunderstorm.
I know. Me too.
I need to hear that shit.
Someday we'll live somewhere where there's thunderstorms.
Oh my god.
I just gotta finish up my stupid diss.
Yeah, and I have to like get to the point where I can get an actual job.
You got a good job. Don't undercut yourself.
No, I need it's a part-time job.
No.
That's like a full-time job.
Oh.
Should we cut this? It's been almost a half hour.
Use a VCR.